year, it needs to be about these people being serious. It needs to be about that. Like, the Lakers need to be serious this year. And I'm one of the people that said, I believe that the Lakers are going to be able to get off to a good enough start, even with LeBron James out of the lineup. I think they're going to be competitive. I absolutely think that the Lakers have a chance to be competitive, but I'm not with all of these antics, and I don't think he should be on the roster. It just is what it is. Y'all are promoting this guy and making headlines and all of this stuff when he doesn't deserve it. There are players on that roster that deserve those headlines, for goodness sake. These
really trying to be respectful as I possibly can be towards LeBron James. I am pleading with LeBron James as a father. Stop this. Stop this. We all know that Bronny James is in the NBA because of his dad. The first game of the season, opening night, the Griffies in attendance.
Dude, people would be slamming Milwaukee for that, but instead we kind of let it go because at least they're honest. We all know it's to keep their star happy, so do what you gotta do. But Bronny? From day one, it's been a lie. Like, kid missed double-digit games at USC, averaged 5 points a game after cardiac arrest. In any other world, he would return to school for another year.
Everyone used to treat the Los Angeles Lakers like untouchable royalty. A full-blown Hollywood dynasty. Spotlight always on, cameras always rolling, with LeBron James pulling invisible strings like a top-tier producer who never misses a cue. Power, legacy, control. It all looked airtight. The script felt flawless. Until one stiff front office move hit the wrong nerve. Suddenly, the fairy tale started choking on smoke, and it spread fast. The front office shakeup didn't just raise eyebrows. It scrambled the entire power map and sparked tension nobody was ready for. This wasn't background noise. This was pressure building in real time. LeBron didn't fire back publicly. No rants, no emotional speeches, no late night interviews.
You know, it's out of the roof. I'm working on my game. You know, I'm really confident in myself right now, so I'm ready to go out there.
How different is it from a year ago?
It's miles different. Like I mean, I feel very confident in my game right now, so.
Just a smile, a couple calm tweets, and a whole lot of silence. And that silence screamed louder than any press conference ever could. Something cracked behind the curtain. And now the fallout might rewrite how people remember this whole era. Picture being LeBron, the self-declared king, and suddenly watching your own son slide off the roster of the franchise you've orbited for 2 decades. That's not just basketball drama. That's ego, legacy, and bloodlines colliding at full speed. That's the kind of moment that has grown men punching pillows and turning social media into a digital battlefield overnight. And here's the part nobody wants to say out loud. This reaction isn't just about losing a teammate, it's about facing an uncomfortable truth. Fans don't want to admit that Bronny James didn't reach the NBA because he bulldozed the competition. He got there because the universe handed him a golden ticket stamped with brand power and corporate respect. And now, quietly, players and fans alike are hoping he doesn't touch real minutes from day one. This story was built on fantasy, not film. His time with USC Trojans men's basketball was rough. Missed games, limited impact, and a stat line that made even loyal supporters wince. 5 points per game after returning from a serious medical situation isn't an NBA resume. It's a participation slip. In a normal timeline, he stays in school, sharpens his craft, and earns it the long way. But this isn't a normal timeline. This is LeBron's world. Playing beside his son in the league was the dream, and it was way too shiny to delay. So what did we end up with? A raw developmental project turned global headline. A prospect wrapped in billion-dollar branding, shielded from real heat. And no matter how much people dodge it, the missteps are real, loud, visible, and impossible to erase. If you want real breakdowns like this, hit subscribe.
I'm 41 years old. Of course, there's always every back-to-back. Didn't look like it. Every back-to-back for the rest of the season is TBD. I am 41. I got the most minutes in NBA history.
Because this story is nowhere near finished, not even close. Watching Bronny James
played last night.
Oh, did he play?
Yeah, he did. He did what he does.
Oh.
Goose eggs.
Now, how does he only get up 2 shots?
Because
you got to go out there and squeeze. Nah, bro, you got to get out there and squeeze. Your dad's not playing right now. There's no Luka. I'm coming in the game.
You would think that
2 shots. He would take 2 shots.
Yeah, but your boy Bronny James only took 2 shots.
Come on, bro.
He missed them both. But you're right. The Lakers are 500. Right.
He drives straight into defense. It's flat out lazy. Half the time it looks like he's auditioning for a basketball-themed sleep commercial. 1 second, the ball swings toward the paint. The next second, he's parked on the wing. Advantage. Possessions wasted, like they don't matter. Strip the name James off the back of that jersey, and this entire conversation vanishes instantly. Nobody is defending a guard who can't read the floor, can't create clean passing angles, can't finish consistently at the rim against NBA size and speed. Those flaws usually get you stapled to the bench, or worse. But when the last name is James, expectations magically sink and people start clinging to the fairy tale. And let's be clear, this isn't hate. This is observation backed by film. Film doesn't lie, patterns don't lie. The NBA is supposed to be a merit-based battlefield. You survive because you impact winning, not because your name trends online. Yet here we are celebrating a routine three-pointer like it solved global problems, while ignoring the reality unfolding possession after possession. Every forced shot, every ignored open teammate, every drive into a wall of defenders. It's all proof of a system rewarding narrative over performance. And that's the frustrating part. This is supposed to be the highest level of basketball on the planet. Fans aren't blind. A huge chunk of them want him gone, not out of cruelty, but out of respect for the game. They know there are players grinding overseas, dominating the G League, starving for a real opportunity. Guys earning minutes the hard way, not inheriting them. They watch him drift through rotations like he's touring a museum instead of fighting a professional war for his career, and it drives them insane. This league is survival, not sightseeing. The NBA keeps dressing this up as development and patience, but the math never changes. Minutes are limited. Every reckless layup attempt, every heat check pull-up from absurd range. That's time stolen from someone who actually earned it.
Leverage to get Bryce into the NBA. And because I do think that was his plan. He may not have the leverage to keep Bronny in the NBA. And I know Bronny's got this contract, and if he sticks with the Lakers, maybe it's inevitable. But if LeBron ever has to really force his way out, that may be the end of Bronny's career. That's where LeBron has potentially miscalculated, because his greed, his desire to play with his son may end up blowing up in his face.
And then there's the coaching staff, a group that somehow decided the best move was giving a raw prospect every green light imaginable. No leash, no consequences, just vibes. Every mistake gets met with soft encouragement instead of real accountability. Defensive lapses, learning moment. Offensive breakdowns, part of the journey. Passive off-ball movement, developmental arc. But let's call it what it really is. Professional failure dressed up as narrative protection. Picture a point guard whose job is to organize, create, and read the floor. Instead, possessions get treated like a personal video game. Button mashing, forcing shots, testing physics, ego, and patience all at once. That's not confidence. That's delusion, enabled by privilege, gift-wrapped as brand opportunity, and it's equal parts sad and unintentionally hilarious. And somehow the broadcasts make it worse. Every miss becomes growth. Every turnover becomes courage. Commentators nod like philosophers, reminding everyone this is a young man finding his way. Meanwhile, veterans grinding through summer leagues and brutal camps are watching from the outside, knowing that in their world, one bad night can erase an entire career. There are no safety nets for them, no patient speeches, no narrative cushions. Take Russell Westbrook, fought for every dollar, every rep, every ounce of relevance in this league. And now, he's staring at a future where he might make less money than a kid who struggles to crack double figures unless defenses politely ignore him. That kind of imbalance doesn't just irritate fans. It breeds quiet resentment. It turns respect into frustration and has even journalists wondering why they still cover this sport. And the decision-making? That's where the absurdity really peaks. Point guards are supposed to see the floor, direct traffic, and make sharp reads under pressure. Instead, we're watching elite defenses get treated like an open buffet. 3 defenders collapse. Wide open teammate on the wing.
Have been some of the preliminary conversations you've had with your father about what's expected in the NBA and what you can expect to hear and see once you start playing?
We haven't gone too deep into that stuff yet, especially because we haven't even started Summer League yet. But, just stuff that he's been telling me my whole life, just having that work ethic and coming in and getting your work in and listening to your coaches and being coachable, stuff like that he's driven into my head my whole life.
Big man waiting in the paint, and still, forced or shot. That's not development. That's chaos pretending to be confidence. 6 seconds on the shot clock. Step back 3. That's not confidence. That's performance anxiety wearing a bravado costume. And it looks even stranger because criticism isn't allowed to exist openly. The narrative shields Bronny James like a force field, swatting away tough questions before they even form. And while the on-court chaos is obvious, the off-court implications scream even louder. LeBron James being present isn't just support, it's armor, corporate courtesy, legacy politics, brand protection rolled into one. Enough insulation to let Bronny stumble through an entire NBA season without facing real consequences. Defenders barely close out. Teams treat his minutes with polite indifference. Fans asking for accountability get drowned out by voices yelling about patience and growth. Every minor success gets inflated into a heroic milestone. Every mistake gets brushed off as potential loading. Game after game turns into a public experiment, showing just how far the league is willing to bend for one last name. It's not just frustrating, it's grotesque. Watching Bronny play feels like watching a trust fund intern dropped into a high-stakes corporate merger and told to figure it out on the fly.
Bronny James just dropped 39 points in the G League, and LeBron had one message: smile through it all. Most people said Bronny only made it because of his dad. Now, he's silencing the critics with career highs and stat sheets that talk pretty loud. In South Bay's 122-118 win over Santa Cruz, Bronny went off. 39 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists, 4 steals. LeBron posted right after, keep going. From people calling it nepotism to being the first father and son duo.
There's effort, sure. The kid probably has a good heart. He brings energy. He's coachable. He's a solid locker room vibe. But effort doesn't move the needle in this league. Skill does. And the impact just isn't there. Those traits sound amazing on a podcast or a feel-good segment. Not in a league where grown men eat, sleep, and breathe basketball. Men whose families depend on this game. When you put that grind next to the privilege surrounding Bronny James, every mistake feels funny, sad, and infuriating all at once. It turns a professional league into a performance. Everyone is forced to pretend it's legitimate. And here's the real issue. This stopped being about potential a long time ago. This is about minutes, opportunity, integrity. Every possession Bronny uses is one less chance for someone else to fight for their livelihood. Every forced shot without consequences is a slap in the face to players grinding overseas or stuck in the NBA G League, where one bad night can erase years of work. That's the real cost of bending reality for a last name. And fans are done pretending they don't see it. Every exaggerated celebration over a three-pointer that barely shifts the game exposes how wild this situation has become. The NBA claims its standards are ruthless, yet somehow Bronny floats above nearly all of them. Fans see it, coaches see it, the league sees it, and still the narrative rolls forward like nothing's wrong. Bronny isn't an NBA player in the traditional sense. He's a brand, a storyline, a traveling spectacle. Playing alongside LeBron James is historic, sure, but it comes with a real price. Team rhythm suffers. Fan patience evaporates. League credibility takes a hit. And here's the truth nobody wants to sit with. The moment that protection disappears, when LeBron retires or moves on, the question won't be, can Bronny survive? It'll be, does he belong at all? History is ruthless. Nepotism in professional sports always has an expiration date. Reality always shows up uninvited. Charm, energy, and heart are nice. They make you likable. They make you marketable. They sell jerseys and headlines. But they don't make you an NBA rotation player, not in a league where results are supposed to matter. At some point, truth stops being negotiable. Film doesn't lie. Stats don't lie.
The Lakers had a preseason game. There were a lot of games going on yesterday. There were the Lakers versus the Warriors. We had the Suns versus the Nets. We had the Clippers versus the Denver Nuggets, and of course the Lakers game. So I told you guys this year I'm going to be spending a little bit more time watching the Lakers, kind of understand the team. And I caught the game, like I was catching bits and pieces of it. I didn't watch the game all the way throughout because I was looking for topics for today. But anyway, the Lakers had a pretty decent lead from basically...
Defenders treating Bronny like a decoy instead of a threat is a silent indictment, louder than any hot take. Every missed rotation, every forced shot, every bad read, all reminders that legacy and skill are not the same thing. And the conversation keeps tiptoeing around it because criticizing a billionaire's son is bad optics. That's exactly why so many fans want him gone. Not out of jealousy, not out of cruelty. They want him gone because they understand basketball. They see a player absorbing minutes, attention, and opportunity that others would bleed for. Players grinding overseas. Players trapped in developmental leagues where one mistake can end everything overnight. So the question keeps getting louder. How long will the league stretch reality before it finally snaps? It's frustrating. It's absurd. It's unintentionally hilarious. Watching coverage frame this as a developmental success is like slapping a bow on a brick and calling it a diamond. Strip away the last name. Remove the brand. Kill the narrative.
Forget all the distractions, what people are saying. That's got to feel good coming into year number two.
Yeah, of course it does. Yeah. You know, everything is paid off. All the work, all the late nights, all the early mornings. You know, putting the right things in my body, lifting, everything. So, yeah.
What do you see like an avenue that you might take this year? I know defensively, you know, you're bouncy, the outside shot. I know defense is to me is your best, but what do you see another avenue you might improve on going forward this year?
I mean, as a PG, just being, you know, having the ball in my hands and be comfortable with the ball in my hands and, you know, run.
And what you're left with is the one question nobody wants to say out loud. What does Bronny James actually do on a basketball court that justifies an NBA roster spot? If you want real breakdowns without the sugarcoating, hit subscribe, because this conversation isn't going anywhere, and the answer is painfully obvious. Nothing. He can't shoot consistently. He can't finish at the rim. He doesn't collapse defenses. He doesn't read the floor. He doesn't create real advantages. That's not opinion. That's film. Film doesn't care about feelings. What he does have is privilege, narrative protection, and a father powerful enough to turn the league into a personal showcase. That mix is entertaining, surreal, and infuriating. But it isn't basketball. The reality is simple. Until the league separates sentiment from skill, this circus keeps rolling. Minutes will keep getting handed out based on storylines instead of performance. Nothing changes. Fans will keep arguing. Commentators will keep glossing over mistakes. And Bronny will keep existing inside a protected bubble where accountability doesn't fully apply. No other player could survive like this. But when that protection fades, when LeBron James steps away and the brand shield disappears, the league will be forced to face a truth that's been obvious the whole time. Playing with your dad doesn't make you a professional basketball player. Legacy is not a substitute for talent. So if you're tired of narrative-beating performance, if you're tired of excuses, glazing, and corporate courtesy dressed up as development, it's time to say it out loud. The conversation matters. Systems only change when people challenge them. Drop a comment. Share this with someone who actually understands basketball. And if you want more breakdowns that don't tiptoe around reality, subscribe and stay locked in. Thanks for watching, and see you in next video.